What's going on?
With the recent pre-release of these two new structure decks coming out later this week, I thought it'd be smart to go through each deck card by card, seeing what other decks that some of these cards could be played in, and inevitably deciding, is this worth picking up, and are these decks meta changing? So to start things off, we're going to start things off with the Wolf of Friendship starter deck. This is the purple Were Garurumon deck. So, starting things off, we got 4 of the Pseudomon. He's the egg of the deck. It has the when attacking, if you have 6 or fewer cards in hand, draw 1 card. So, this card, this egg would be really good for like Belphemon, because Belphemon, you're trying to keep your hand size 6 or lower. So, making it to where there's times where that deck will have maybe 1 or 2 cards in hand, and this would allow them to get a little more cards in hand, because the idea of the deck is to have a small hand size, but this allows you to, but that limits it for its plays. If you don't see your combo pieces and they only got like 2 cards in hand, you can't really do anything. So this is just allowing you to maybe draw a few more cards. It's just good for like generic purple decks, because drawing is really good for the game. You know, if you're gonna play, you need cards to draw. You need cards in hand to make plays. So having it to where if you're already playing a deck that purposely limits your hand, this will allow you to at least get something. I could see the problem running up if you have 6 cards in hand and you swing, then technically you're gonna draw 1 card and have 7, then the Belphemon play doesn't work. But the Belphemon check is at the start of your turn, so even if you go over the 6 cards after the start of the turn, the check of you having 6 cards in hand already has happened. So I think this could be a good egg to run in that deck. Now we're going to move on to the level 3s of the deck. There's 4 of the Elecmon. Elecmon has an on play, draw 1, then trash 1 card from hand. This is just a good generic purple style searching where you're drawing cards and trashing. So I don't know if this would see much play in other decks, but if you're just running like purple, this is just a good search engine. So if you need more search and more ways to put things in your trash, you don't want to have to rely on having to swing and like the Eismon to be deleted and stuff like that. This is just a kind of easier way, because this unconditional, it's just on play, boom. So I mean, granted, all these cards are good in purple decks, but I think this would be a decent card to run in a purple deck. If you needed that little more search and trashing, this is a good card just to throw in there. Next is 2 of the Gabumon. So when you buy 1 starter deck, you're only going to get 2 of this card. So technically, if you want 4, you're going to have to buy 2 starter decks, or just buy the singles. But it has it's a 3 play cost, 0 evo. It digivolves over a Pseudomon for your 0 cost. Doesn't matter the color or anything like that. So if you're playing like a blue version of the deck, you can still run this card technically. And it has the start of your main phase. Your opponent has a Digimon. You get to gain a memory. So just allowing you to, if it's on board and they pass turn by playing a body out, you're going to gain a memory from that. The thing with that is level 3s are kind of easy to get rid of off the field, but you know, if you were hit this in raising and then promote it up and they had a Digimon, you would gain a memory. So it works. I think it's this would definitely be good for with the Eismon, because it has the when attacking, draw 1 card and then trash 1 card. So just having more draw 1, trash 1 is just really good for purple, and I think for the Belf that's perfect. So like I would throw this in a Belphemon deck for sure, because they already have a Gabumon that kind of does this. I can't remember what set it came out in. I'll have it on screen, but having more of a card that does the same thing is good, especially if you really like that card and the effects it do. So having this could be really good for the Belphemon deck in the Belphemon strategy. And just any purple deck that plays things from trash and relies on trash and isn't like, not like Beelzemon, because Beelzemon's very like Impmon focused, but having more cards that do that. So if you're playing like a good example would be if you're playing more of a like a Megazoo deck, and you're playing a purple Megazoo that has you play things from trash, this is a good card to throw in. Next level 3 running is the next level 3 in the deck is the Tapirmon. Is a 3 cost, 2 DP, 0 evo, has no effect itself, but it's inheritable as retaliation. If you're just trying to give your deck just easy, non restricted or non like combo related retaliation, you just want face value, I just need retaliation, this is a card you could throw in there. I don't really see this being too impactful or too like it's gonna be played in decks all the time, but you're a new player and you just want to play purple and have retaliation, because retaliation is, if it's deleted, you get to also delete whatever attacked it. So like, I can't really say much about this card. It's just kind of like, hey, here's retaliation, boom, that's all it is. So if you are playing a deck and you need like a non-conditional retaliation, that's the word I was looking for, this is the card I would throw in there. Next card is, there's 4 of the Gotsumon. So it just has retaliation itself. It is a 4 cost to hard play, 0 cost Evo 4000. Has retaliation on your turn. When this Digimon attacks an opponent's Digimon, you lose 2 memory. So this is kind of like the old, like how it pretty much blockers used to be back in the day. Like if you attacked with it, you would lose 2 memory. I don't really see this being played at all, because it's just, it doesn't have blockers. So you have to either you just leave it on board and they have to swing into it and they have retaliate. I just don't really see, this card's probably going to be in your bulk pile for sure. I don't really see this being played in much of any deck, but hey, if I'm wrong and you can prove me wrong, comment down below. So that's the level 3s of the deck. Pretty cut and dry for purple. It's just, you know, either getting retaliation or drawing cards and trashing cards. So now we're going to get into the level 4s of the deck. This is Bakemon. He's cooking up, so that's cool. He is blocker. He's a 4 drop, 2 Evo, 5000 blocker. If you're playing purple and you want some blocking, this is it. But I feel like purple doesn't really focus on the blocking aspects of the deck. But there's other blockers in purple that are a little better. But the 4 cost hard play is pretty appealing. So if you are playing a deck and you're realizing you need to be a little more defensive and you're having trouble dealing with wide boards or stuff like that, maybe throw in this guy. But again, I really feel like this is just going to be in your bulk pile for sure. So next, level 4 of the starter deck is Meramon. It is a 5 cost, 2 Evo, 6000. On deletion, gain 1 memory. So this is like one of those things, you just bring it up, swing with it, hope it dies, and when it does, you get to gain a memory from that. That lets you extend your plays a little bit, but if there isn't a Meramon focused deck like Meramon Tribal or whatever, I don't really see this being like, oh my gosh, this is just meta changing. So like, again, I really feel like this is going to be a bulk card, but the art's really cool. I appreciate the art, you know, Meramon, the bonfire with the Gazumon and the Gatomon just chilling in the background. Like, the Gazumon's cooking up a s'more. Like, he's burning it, you know what I'm saying? But, yeah, again, interesting idea. It plays into the purple on deletion stuff, but the gaining 1 memory, I don't really feel as being like, oh my gosh, this is gonna be played. But, hey, who knows? Time will tell. Alright, so we're getting into another level 4 that they only give you 2 of. So again, you buy 1 starter deck, this is what you're getting. It's a Garurumon. It is a 6 hard play, 2 Evo, 5000. It digivolves over any Goblimon in name for 2, so color doesn't matter. So again, you play this in a purple deck. This is where that's going to play in. It has a security effect of when you play, when played from 1 hit in security, you get to play 1 Goblimon or 1 Tamer with Matashita in its name without paying the cost from your hand or trash. So allowing you to, if they swing in your security, you're being able to either play out a free body or play out a free Tamer. That's pretty good. I have a little thing with security Digimon that's like, if you're not playing like security control or ways to really load up your security, the odds are you're not going to see this in security, but that's okay because it does have a win digital and you get to draw 1 trash 1 from your hand, so that's just good. So it kind of plays into, if you don't see insecurity, oh well, you're still getting an effect from it. Then it has the inheritable of when attacking once per turn, draw 1 card from your hand and then trash 1 card. So just playing in kind of like the Goblimon, just being able to play that, draw 1, trash 1, because the goal of this is you're trying to put stuff in your trash, you can get cards in hand, because you have ways to get around things being in your trash in purple, so that's not really a huge deal. It's not like it's gone forever. And yeah, so if you want 4 of this, you're gonna have to get 2 starter decks or just buy 4 singles. But I really see this card being played in like a Where Garurumon, the Melga decks, because it just puts in the work. It fits the criteria of being a Garurumon. It draws 1, trash 1. It lets you keeping that aggression, keep getting cards in your hand. So if you're playing a Where Garurumon deck, I think this would be a good card to throw in there. You don't have to worry about the color restriction thing, because at least from going from a level 3 to a level 4, because of the Where Garurumon little text right there. So yeah, that's all I can say about that. I would say it's really going to be played in that. It could be played in other purple decks just so it gets that draw 1, trash 1 effect, but I really see it being played in the Where Garurumon. So now we're going to get into the level 5s. Level 5s are, this is Pumpkinmon. He's a 6 RK, 3 Evo, 7K DP Digimon. He has the on play. When you play 1 purple, you may play 1 purple level 3 from your trash without paying the cost, so allowing you to just hard slam this and play another body out for free. That's kind of nice. It has no inheritable. I don't really know where this card is going to be put in. I don't know what decks they're like, yeah, we're running Pumpkinmon, because you can't Flame Health Sight this card because it does have 7,000 DP, not 6. So it doesn't play into that security control or like just utilizing the Flame Health Sight effect, which is probably smart they made it that way, because that would be crazy if you were able to play this body out for free, minus DP on one of their opponents, and then also play out another body. But if you're playing if you have a way to play out level 5s for free, this is a good card to throw in there if your deck like kind of plays that. You could technically, if you wanted to, use this with like a Zwart defeat, because technically it is 6 and it's less than 8, so you can play it out with Zwart. But not Zwart defeat, just Zwart. My bad. But yeah, I don't really see this being played too much, but if it is, that's one thing about this game that I love. Like, there might be cards that don't get played, but I still appreciate the art and the beauty of the card, because there's a lot of stuff that's like, it's just a little pumpkin dude with a Candemon next to him. So like, it's cute. It's cute. Maybe if you wanted to play a Halloween type of deck, it is that time of year, this would be the card to throw in there for fun. Next level 5 of the deck is 4 of the Mammothmon. So Mammothmon is a 7 cost, 3 to Evo, 7,000 blocker. It has the inheritable retaliation, so just playing into that, getting more cheap retaliation. It's a blocker, so that's, if you want to be more defensive minded, you at least have blocking capability with this card. If you're playing a deck and you really just want to get more retaliation into it, this is a good card. I don't know if there's really any decks that play that are like ancient animal tribal, but if you wanted to try that, maybe play an extinct deck, because I know there's a dinosaur deck coming out soon. I think in BT13 people are messing around with having a dinosaur only deck, so maybe if you wanted to play extinct animals, this is a card you could throw in there. But yeah, again, I really feel like this is just gonna be a bulk. That's kind of the thing with starter decks. A lot of the cards in them, there's like a couple really good ones, and then there's just bulk. Next level 5 in the deck is 2 of the Where Garurumon. He's an 8 cost, 8,000. He digivolves for 3 over a level 4 purple, but he also has the 1 digivolving. If it's Garurumon name, you can make it for 3 cost, and it doesn't matter for color, all that jazz. It has a when attacking by trashing 1 card in hand, you get to unsuspend this Digimon. And I would talk about this inheritable, but this card actually was misprinted right out of the box. So when you buy this, if you buy it at a local card store, they're going to give you the errata version of the card. So the errata version of the card is the inheritable changes to when attacking by trashing 1 card in hand, you can delete 1 opponent's level 4 or lower. So just allowing you to be able to swing and delete level 4s or lower on your opponent's side, so you're controlling the board, is pretty good. It would have been way better if it was especially for Where Garurumon decks and the Metal Garurumon line. This inheritable would have been way better, just adding more aggression, but that would have been ridiculous because the deck is already ridiculously aggressive. So giving it the ability to do it more would have been wild. So I'm glad they fixed the issue. It sucks that the issue even happened, but it's cool that they were giving out the card. If you buy a starter deck, you get these for free. Being like, hey, my bad on that. Here's the fixed version. So yeah. So that's that. So that's something to keep in mind. If you're buying this card from like a Target or a Walmart or whatever, you're probably not going to get those packs. I'm assuming you just won't. So keeping in mind when you're a new player and you're buying this deck that inheritable is different, which this isn't real. Like looking at it as a perspective of starter decks are for new players, is really a bad mess up to have, because how would someone just starting the game know that this card switched? So unless they're doing research on it or whatever, they're not going to know, and that could lead to some confrontations down the line when they're saying, well, my card says it does this, and then people who play the game are like, no, it doesn't, it got changed. So I really think that was a mess up on their end as a company, but hey, like, you know, it happens. You know what I mean? We can't like be like, oh, I'm done now, I give up. They're trying to fix the issue and they're trying to correct it, so you can't dog on them for that. People make mistakes, it happens. A lot of times translations switch up. I mean, this isn't the first time this has happened with this game, but moving forward, so you know, if you're a new player or just someone who maybe hasn't really looked into this deck, the inheritable is different. Like, it is just by trashing one card, delete a 4 or lower, not on suspend. Yep. So that is the level 5s of the deck. So now we're going to get into the level 6s of the deck. You're going to get 4 of the Skull Mammothmon. So Skull Mammothmon is 11 hard play, 4 evo cost, 12,000. It has a when digivolving effect of drawing 1 card and then trashing 1 card from your hand. And then he has an all turns effect of when one of your effects trashes a card in hand, you may play 1 level 4 or lower purple Digimon from your trash without paying the cost. So like for the starter deck side of this deck, it allows you to just play out those blockers, play out those bodies, maybe play out that searching card. It works well for that, but I don't really see this card seeing much play. Like, no one's gonna make a Skull Mammothmon deck. They might if they really like the card or they like mammoths. Maybe they're a big fan of Ice Age, who knows. But yeah, though, this is what that card is, what it does. Again, I really feel like most of the time, the other level 6s of starter decks that are not like the main box Digimon don't see too much play. They're kind of one of those, they're just in there to make the deck playable, but they're not like crazy impactful or anything. There has been times where that's been wrong, and people use the non-performing or the non-box level 6s and from starter decks, but most of the time I don't really see that. So yeah, that's what it is. That's what it does. Now we're getting into the Metal Garurumon Ace. This is the main box Digimon of the deck. Another reason why people want to buy boxes is because there are alt arts that you could possibly get when you buy it. Sadly, I did not get that, but it is a 6 play cost, 11,000, 3 cost to Evo, level 6. It can digivolve over Garurumon's name for 3, so it doesn't matter the color. This is the new mechanic of the game, and this is why I am a big component of saying newer players really need to get into this deck, because this ace mechanic isn't going to go anywhere. This seems like this is the way Bandai is taking the game. They want to add the ace effect, and if you don't know, so what the ace effect does is, so it has a hand effect. So the counter, you get the blast digivolve, which means when one of your opponents attacks, you can counter the attack by digivolving into this level 6 for free. But the caveat, the kink in the armor of it is the ace has when it has ace overflow. So when this card is moved from the battle area or underneath the card, you lose 4 memory. So this thing ever gets deleted, gets digivolved, moved off the field, anything like that, you're going to lose 4 memory just right off the rip. So, you get to go into it for free, but then you got to pay. It's like a loan. You got to pay it back later. But with this ace card is really neat because it has the when digivolving. You trash up to 3 cards in your hand. You gain 1 memory for each card trashed. So the strategy in what people do with this deck is they leave level 5 on field. They give them maybe like 2 memory or 1 memory. They give it so if they trash all 3 of the cards, they're going to pass turn, and then it's their turn again. So it's a good way to like end their turn. They attack once and you end it. Maybe they have 3 bodies on board. You got 2 security. They could easily go for game. They swing. You do that. Pass turn. It's your turn again. Then you get to deal with the board and what you have to do. It has when attacking as well. When you may once per turn, you may trash 1 card from your hand to delete one of your opponent's lowest level Digimon. So this is a really strong card, and a lot of decks are running it. The thing with this is, we got these as box toppers for BT13. So like we've had these cards before the starter decks were even released. So it's not like we were waiting for these starter decks to come out to be able to utilize these cards. Like we've had them. People have been working with them, making really wacky decks. I can't wait to try. I'm gonna try a Mega Zoo style deck using both the ace cards from both starter decks. I think that should be fun. We'll see how it goes. So the ace mechanic isn't going anywhere, so I think it's important. And that's a big reason why I'm like that mess up and that misprint on the starter deck cards was so important, because this where Garurumon is going to see play. This is going to be used in either just any purple deck, because that effect of being able to gain the memory and maybe pass turn is so strong. And also with where Garurumon, if you're playing like a Metal Garurumon deck, this card's going to go in it because it is really good. Being able to go into it for free, yeah, you might pay it later, but most of the time, where Garurumon, when they start swinging, they're swinging to end the game. So if they can never delete it, you just got into a level 6 for free. So it just adds so much value to the deck and to future decks and all this stuff. So this is a really good card. You got 2 of it. Again, like for the sense of if you're already a player, do I really think you need to like go get the starters to get these? No, because you probably already have them because they were box toppers, like I said before. But long story short, this is a really good card. If you are a new player and you want 4 of this, you do have to get 2 starter decks or just buy 2 for the singles. But I feel like the ace mechanic isn't going anywhere, so I think this is a really good card to like get so you can learn and how to play with ace mechanics and doing all that stuff. So those are the Digimon of the deck. Now we're going to talk about the tamers of the deck, because if you're a new player, there's Digimon, tamers, and option cards. Those are the 3, and Digi-Eggs. Those are the 4 types of cards in the entire game. So now we're getting 4 of this tamer. It is Madashita. He's a 4 cost to play. At the start of your turn, if you have less than 3 memory, you get to set to 3. So he's a memory setter, which is good. I think this is the first starter deck to play memory setters, which is really cool. And then he has all turns. When an effect trashes a card from your hand, you get to unsuspend. You get to suspend this tamer to gain a memory. So this will go in like any purple deck. Like any deck that is trashing cards from hand, this card's going to go in. It's a memory setter, sets you to 3, and you're able to buy trashing cards, gaining memory from it to be able to extend your turn. I don't see in my mind that this won't be played. And also, it's matte. It's a Madashita, so it's really good with like the Metal Garurumon decks and all that stuff. So purple decks are going to run this. Metal Garurumon's probably going to run it, maybe like 1 or 2 of it. But either way, this is just a really good card. So it's cool that they added in. It's 4 of. So technically 1 starter deck. You don't have to worry about getting any more of this. But I doubt that this card, because of that reason, it's going to get expensive. Alright, so now we're going to get into the option cards of the deck. Option cards are, there is 4 of the Badly Bow. It's Badly Blow, but I'm going to call it the Badly Blow. It's a 4 cost option card. Delete one of your opponent's level 5 or lower. I see why they're kind of doing this with the starter decks, because the starter decks are supposed to counter each other, so it's fair. In the ace mechanic, most of the time you're going to have a level 5 on field and you're letting it sit. So as an option card, it's strong in the sense of you're just deleting a level 5 or lower. But once they get a level 6 out, it kind of just becomes useless. Its security effect is just activate the card. So if you need more removal, especially for future sets when ace, there's level 5 ace cards, this option card is going to be free. Or maybe a 1 cost. Either way, you're going to be able to reduce the cost of this because you're deleting something with ace and then gaining that memory back. So I could see in the future this card could be run. I could see this being teched in things. If you just want more removal, it's good for that. Purple has a lot of removal as is, but having more of it can't hurt. So yeah, there it is. I don't know really exactly what deck that this would get played in, but it could be played in just like any deck that you're trying to get more removal. The last 2 cards of the deck is 2 option cards. They only give you 2 this one. Is a 3 cost. It's Laminate of Friendship. So if you have a Matashita in its name, you can ignore the color requirements because how the game works. You have to have the color out if you want to play the option card. So this allows you to say you have a blue Matashita card out on field. You can ignore that. It has a return. Return 1 Digimon from your trash to hand. Then one of your Digimon with Garurumon in its name gains on deletion. Play this card without playing. Play this card without paying the cost until the end of your opponent's turn. So this allows you to play this card maybe to pass turn. You're either returning something to hand, and then one of your aware Garurumons, or just Garurumon in name, gets the, if it's deleted, it gets to come right back. So then that makes the player have to decide, do I want to swing into it, and they just play it out again. I could see this being interesting if you were, they had their Metal Garurumon Ace, you swing into it, you kill it, you gain the 4 memory, it comes back, and then you find a way to kill it again and gain another 4 memory. I could see that play possibly happening, but that would be really funny. But overall, this is a pretty good card if you're playing, though this is going to be more focused with like the Garurumon. Like I don't really see any other deck playing this, because granted, being able to return 1 card from your trash to your hand is nice, getting something that maybe you trash and you need, but the effect of one of your Garurumon, so it has to be a Garurumon in name. I keep saying Garurumon, but you know what I'm saying. Has to have a Garurumon in its name. If this also played with the Gabumon as well, the level 3 of that line, I feel like this card would be way stronger, but I can see why they didn't, because there are those bond decks. If you didn't know, I know about the bond decks. But yeah, so that's it. So that's the starter deck. So now I'm just going to say these are like probably the top cards of the starter deck. These are the cards I would say they're going to have play outside of the starter deck. And if you can't get the trend here, most of them are Garurumons and Gabumons. If you enjoyed the video and you you found this helpful or informative and helped you made your decision, I'm going to be posting the War Greymon, the other starter deck, as well. So look out for that. This one will be first, that one will be second. Try and change it up, you know, I'm a Greymon player, so it can't just always be throwing out the Greymon content. So yeah, if you liked it, enjoy the video, all that good stuff, like, subscribe, and if you feel like any other cards that are in the starter deck that you feel are going to be used and impactful and important, I think that you should comment down below and prove me wrong, because we need interaction in these videos, so let's get that going. Alright, I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.